Boo, everybody, and welcome back to the HabWrap. I'm your host, Harry Rice. You are listening to the friendliest and funniest source for anything and everything related to the Montreal Canadiens. Tonight, the Habs played a game against the Washington Capitals, the third and final meeting between the Canadiens and the Capitals for this season, and also, probably, very likely, the last time that the Montreal Canadiens will face Alexander Ovechkin, barring they make the playoffs and we meet, and it'd probably be the conference finals, but it is the final ever, more than likely, regular season match between the Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals with Alex Ovechkin in the lineup. It's insane. Alex Ovechkin, literally the greatest goal scorer in NHL history. Say what you want about Guy Lafleur, Mario Lemieux, Mike Bossy. Say what you will about them. Alex Ovechkin is number one. He passes 1,000 total goals between regular season and playoffs with a 2-goal game tonight. Spoiler. It's been a pleasure getting to watch Alex Ovechkin over the last decade since I've been a fan personally. I've been a big fan of his for most of his career. Some great moments, of course, the save from Carey Price and Ovi going over, giving him his due, knocking out 18-year-old Andrei Svechnikov. That was fantastic. Finally winning the Stanley Cup in 2018. That was awesome to see how excited Ovechkin was about that. It's been great watching Alex Ovechkin, and if this season is truly it, he couldn't have picked a better time to retire. He is the leading NHL goal scorer. Every goal this year is literally history-making. He scored twice tonight. He made history twice tonight. He's done it plenty of times before in the Bell Center. It's going to be so weird seeing the Washington Capitals next season without Alex Ovechkin. So, Ovi, absolute beauty. One of the best players of all time. The greatest goal scorer of all time. Again, it's going to be so weird. We'll eventually get used to it. I don't think we're going to see anyone get close to Ovi's goal record for a very, very, very long time. And, Ovi's last game went about as well as I think most people expected. So, of course, how we usually do this is we go through the lines for both teams. Of course, we will do that like usual. We do the little game summary recap that I've got, again, to the Canadian stats, and then we get on out of here. So, let's do that the way we usually do. The opening lines for the Canadiens were Caufield, Suzuki, Doc, Slavkovsky, Captain, and Demidov, Newhook, Evans, Bolduc. So Bolduc is in for Alex Texier tonight. Anderson, Deneau, Gallagher. On the blue line, Matheson and Gooley, Hudson Dobson, and Struble Carrier. So Arbor Jacki is a healthy scratch. In other words, Mike Matheson was a -2. Time to punish Jacki, unfortunately. Jakub Dobes gets the start net for the Canadiens. I mentioned it in the last review. They would split these first two games, and yeah, so Dobes being in tonight, not a big surprise. And Samuel Montembeault backs him up, as was expected. The opening lines for the Capitals were, of course, Ovechkin, Strome, Beauvillier, Protas, Dubois, Wilson, McMichael, Shortiff, Leonard, and Duhaime, Dowd, Frank. Ethan Frank, who surprisingly did not go sicko mode the way he has every other time he's played the Canadiens up to this point. So, fingers crossed we figured him out. On the blue line, Farvary, Sandin, Chikrin, Roy. That's Matt Waugh. Or no, I think it actually is Matt Roy. I actually think it is. And Chisholm, Van Riemsdyk. That's Trevor, not James. Charlie Lindgren gets the start for the Capitals, and Logan Thompson backs him up. He is given the night off, as I believe the Capitals played last night, so Thompson does get the very well-deserved rest, I believe. And, before the game, there are a couple rumors going around about the Canadiens' deadline. I mentioned it last game that Line A is very likely to be dealt before the deadline. The Canadiens, of course, have apparently been talking about Nazem Kadri, Ryan O'Reilly, I believe they've inquired about. Apparently, we've also inquired about Rasmus Ristolainen, who Oh, God. There's also a little bit of talk from a couple insiders that the Canadiens would look at Sergei Bobrovsky should he be available next Friday by the Florida Panthers. The talk is that apparently we are looking at a defenseman and a potential top six forward. So Canadiens look like, if everything goes according to plan, they're going to be having a pretty busy deadline, which I will say very likely, because it's not 100%, but very likely, we will be live for again. Yes, that's right. Last year, the deadline kind of went awry for me because I kind of fell asleep on stream for about 20 minutes, I feel like. So I ended up ending the stream early, unfortunately. However, this year, I am actually going to try and get some sleep the night before. I was up all night for the Olympics, and I only ended up going to bed about 12. It ended up being pretty good. I didn't end up dozing off during the game. So I feel like if I wanted to do that again for the deadline, I might be able to. However, I will try and get some rest. I'm still not sure if we're going to be up to stream at 7 or 8 o'clock yet. I will confide with my committee, with my director, and also Chev Camaro, who's of course a friend of the channel. We'll see what time he's going to be willing to join us for the deadline stream, because he always comes in and joins us. So yeah, we will be live for the deadline. I'm not sure when. There is a very small possibility that instead of going live during the deadline, we go live after to recap the moves, but it's very likely that I will go live again early in the morning to recap the deadline. So yeah, there's that. Nazem Kadri, I wouldn't mind. Ryan O'Reilly, meh. Rasmus Ristolainen, please no. I will actually have a crash out on stream if we trade for Rasmus Ristolainen. And Sergei Bobrovsky, yes please. I really want him on this Montreal Canadiens team. So yeah, we got through the lines and again a couple of rumors right there. So let's get into the stats for the Montreal Canadiens. Oh nice, I sold an item. Nice. All right, so sorry, I was just looking at my eBay really quickly. Okay, so for the for the game in the first period, the Habs win the opening draw. There's a chance for Caufield, but that's poked away, and we score. Mr. Saturday Night Cole Caufield, 30 seconds in, gets in on a break. He goes glove side, and he scores. Habs have the 1-0 lead. Cole Caufield gets it unassisted, no less. 30 seconds in exactly. Habs have the lead. My God. Canadiens look good early on. Anderson has a nice hit behind the net. Habs almost get a chance as a result. Caps go the other way, but there's a couple good sticks to break up any potential chances there. Gooley goes high on Lindgren, but the shot gets saved. There's a trip on a Canadian. There's no call because why would there be? A Carrier shot gets blocked. Another shot gets tipped, but that's just over the net. Caps end up icing the puck. Duhaime tries to punch Dobson, but there's no goal. There's no penalty as well. That comes off of another icing by the Caps. Dobson has a big shot off a draw. That somehow gets saved. Doc gets 3-on-1. He gets punched. And yeah, you can do it once. Don't do it twice. There is a penalty. Brendan Duhaime's called for a rough. Capitals clear off of an attempted passing play. Jesus. Caps clear off some board play. Galley gets found with space, so of course he doesn't shoot. The Canadiens, unfortunately, 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. And then they go to the penalty kill right after. Matheson's called for a hold on Brendan Duhaime. Ovi with the left circle, the shot goes off the bar. There's another look for Ovi. That's into the chest of Dobes. Good hold there. Dobes also then has a good late save on Ethan Frank. From what I can recall, that's the only time Ethan Frank gets mentioned by me, I'm pretty sure. Ethan Frank had a very quiet game for his playing against Montreal usual. Very, very strange there. Dobes, has the good save. The Habs do clear. Habs, 1 for 1 on the penalty kill tonight. Spoiler, they'd be very good on the penalty kill. Habs end up icing one after a Capitals pressuring sequence. There's a sudden press. Lindgren dives towards Caufield to save a possible 2-0 goal. And back the other way, they score. Ovi gets a rebound at the blue line. At the goal line. He ends up putting it home off of a bit of a bouncer. He ties it. Good one there. Ovi with his 23rd of the year from Beauvillier and Chisholm with 7:43 left, or 13-16. Hell yeah, son. There we go. So the game is tied. We're going to see how we score. Yeah, a minute 13 later, Cole Caufield gets his second of the night with 5:38 left. He scores on the doorstep. He puts it home off of I thought it was a shot rebound, but no, I think it was a pass across. Caufield with his 35th of the year. His 34th was unassisted, by the way. Caufield scores his 35th from Suzuki and Struble. So Struble gets in the lineup, and he gets a point. Good to see that, at least. Caufield puts the Canadiens back out in front. That's always good. Matheson tries to hold the puck in. Wilson almost gets found on a break, but just isn't able to get it. Caufield off of a puck battle right in front. Holds and holds. Lindgren with a really good glove stop to rob Caufield of the first period hat trick. I would have leaked certain pictures of myself if Caufield had that first period hat trick. That would have been awesome. It would have been awesome. First period hat trick. Catch me on a better day and I'll be able to do my Trump, no problem. I can do a better Trump than that, don't worry. Capitals ice the puck off of a near Habs press. There's a late Canadiens press that's unsuccessful. Trevor Van Riemsdyk looks the other way, but nothing. The last few minutes were very nothing. Not a lot there in the dying minutes. So the shots are 10-7 for the Capitals and a 2-1 lead for the Montreal Canadiens after 20 minutes. That's always nice if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan. Second period, the Habs ice the puck 21 seconds in. Gallagher gets hit hard by Faravari. That's a good one. The Caps pressure after. Suzuki ends up turning a puck over to Suzuki, but Wilson turns a puck over to Suzuki, but the shot is saved. Suzuki with a nice deke to get one to Caufield, but that's poked through. Or that gets poked, I should say. Demidov has a deke, but is stick checked off the puck. Dobes makes a good pad stop on the Capitals' chance. Demidov with a look. Caps end up clearing the zone, though, unfortunately. And yeah, the shots are 6-0 for the Capitals 4 minutes into the second period. Very surprising. Yeah, did not expect that. Especially with how decent the Canadiens looked. Would not have expected the shots to be that bad. They wouldn't stay that bad, though. Spoiler alert. Dobes comes way out to play a puck before Ovi can get it. He's racing to it. That was fun to see. You love it when a goaltender is that confident. And it's not even one of those where, Dobes plays the puck and Ovi runs him over. No. One of those beautiful just fires it off the boards. Ovi just glides past him. It's like, you love to see it. No dirty hit. No bad misplay. Just nice goaltending there. Love to see it. Suzuki gets on a break. He goes 5-hole. Lindgren lays on the puck to make sure it stays out. That would have been awesome to see the captain get a goal there. Hopefully he scores next game. I really want to see a goal from the captain sometime soon. That's not like to pressure him, say he's been bad, but just you always love to see the captain score. Slavkovsky has a wrister, but that's gloved after a near Caps goal for Leonard on a cross crease. Dobson then nearly gets found on a cross crease. There's a chance there. Doc in a puck battle, but the pass ends up going all the way down to Dobes. Newhook with a nice dangle, but the shot is just wide of the net on a backhand. Caps press. There's a shot for Strome deflected just above the net. There's a second line rush chance for the Canadiens. Slav looks for Dobson, but that gets saved. Habs go to the power play halfway through the period at least. Leonard gets called for roughing as he ends up ripping off Demidov's helmet. That's what he gets called for. Suzuki has a one-timer that's saved. Demidov with a big one-timer, but that's blocked and cleared. Habs set up. Demidov ends up fanning on one. Caufield's found on a rebound, just saved twice. Cole was looking for the hat trick tonight. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it. But I think he'll gladly take being tied for second in the NHL in goals so far this season. If Caufield somehow wins the scoring race, I will post certain pictures of myself. And I confidently say that with the assumption that nobody's catching Nathan MacKinnon for the scoring race this year. I say that and McKinnon's getting hurt next game, and it's like, oh God, oh no. So yeah, Habs do press. Demidov ends up fanning on another second look. Unfortunately, Habs are 0 for 2 on the power play, but it doesn't matter. We score about 30 seconds later with 7:36 left. Matheson with a nice dangle. Beautiful goal. It's a 3-1 Canadiens lead. He goes 5-hole and beats Lindgren, who thinks he's going up high. Matheson scores from Bolduc and Newhook. That's a really, really nice goal there. Mike Matheson showing some pretty good skittles for himself with that goal. And spoiler, he had a very nice rebound after last game. He was a +4 tonight. That's right. He went from a -2 last game to a +4. I don't know how. I'd imagine the two empty netters he was out for probably helped with that. But still, dude was a +4? That's awesome. Speaking of awesome, Evans and Dubois shove after a whistle. This game, at this point, has been very, very fun, and it would be a very fun game for the remainder of it. Goulet ends up getting punched in the face on a defensive play. There's no call, of course. Dubois a shot, but that's just wide in the slot. Caps were roughly 9 minutes without a shot. Unless the shot counter was just not being accurate, it was about 9 minutes without a shot for the Capitals. Wilson pokes at Dobes, but the puck was way out of his pad. The refs did blow it down as they lost sight of it. Nobody goes after Wilson because, why are you poking the pad? The puck's not there. Habs do get a chance. Evans finds Goulet, who just heals the shot. Damn it. Dubois hits the post. Back the other way. Canadiens score, and Tom Wilson's hurt. Kirby Dach, more importantly, has a one-timer in the slot. Beauty of a shot. Puts it up high on Lindgren. He makes it 4-1 for the Canadiens. His 8th goal of the year. He scores from Suzuki with 3:26 left in the game. And, after the shot, he gets hit. Not a dirty hit or anything, but just he's bumped into. He ends up going down. Wilson falls over him, and Wilson bumps his knee on the ice, basically. On the bench, he looked like he was about to cry. That was very fun. And, basically, that would be Tom Wilson's second period. I don't think he played another shift for the second. He would be good for the third, so it was definitely one of those just Peter Griffin things. So, yeah. Caps go to a power play with 2:43 left. Gallagher is called to for a slash. That's just not a smart play. I get maybe trying to stick lift, but just he had no intention. It was just a clear slash. Yeah. Habs get some clears early. There's a puck battle. Ovi almost gets a one-timer. Sorry. The puck's eventually poked. It's a 2-on-1. Kapanen finds Matheson, who goes back to Kapanen, and of course the pass isn't there because Kapanen expects Matheson to shoot. Habs do clear late to end it, so we are 2 for 2 in the penalty kill tonight. Capitals end up flipping one to Dobes in the last second, who of course makes the save. So yeah, Canadiens have a 4-1 lead after the second. The shot's 20-16 for the Capitals. That's nice. In the third period, there's some back and forth in the first few minutes. No shots. 2 minutes in, they're doing the wave. That's usually something they say for halfway through the period. Habs fans had so much energy tonight, they couldn't resist. They had to do the wave. Carey has a shot from the blue line just wide. Lindgren covers a rebound. There's an icing on the Capitals at 4 minutes. Habs fans are still doing the wave, and then they start the Olay chants. Montreal is the best arena in professional sports. You will not prove me wrong. Suzuki gets boarded, no call. Thankfully, he's not hurt on the play, but it's just one of those bit of a hard shove into the boards. Matheson has a shot deflected out of play. Dowd and Dach exchange some shots after the play. Dowd's off 2 for cross-checking. Dach gets 2 for roughing. We get some 4-on-4. McMichael gets on a break, and Dobes, of course, makes the glove save. Why wouldn't he? 8 seconds into that on the 4-on-4. A really nice glove there, too, mind you. Suzuki takes down Faravari behind the Capitals' net. Watt trips Suzuki, gives him a couple cross-checks. There's no call. Caps press the other way. Dobes trips up Dubois, and Habs go to the penalty kill. We get 10 seconds of a 4-on-3 into a 5-on-4 Capitals power play. Dobson just gets a stick in the skates. That one just sucks. Matheson does clear early. Deneau clears off a puck battle. There's a puck off the ref, so the Capitals are able to hold it in, but it does get cleared. Matheson then clears. Evans clears on a failed zone entry. Caps with an eventual look late. Dobes covers. McMichael pokes at him. He can't do that. Gooley goes right after him. Refs save him from an ass beating. I should say that save him being McMichael, obviously. Chychrun has a late shot saved. Habs are 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Second line nearly converts one. Demidov right in front has a great chance. Anderson with a nice nice hit behind the Capitals net. The Capitals then press and they score. Alex Ovechkin with his second of the night. Very, very, very sneaky, to quote John Turturro from Mr. Deeds. He's very, very sneaky. Just glides in off the blue line. Sees that there's a board play going on in the left corner. Gets in the slot, basically, just right in front of the net. And he just puts it home, 5-hole. Just a very good goal there. Ovechkin scores from Strome and Villiers. He cuts the lead down to 2. Capitals are going to have a chance to press here. That goal comes with just about 8:48 left in the hockey game. Or 7:48 left in the third period. Suzuki and Caufield get a near 2-on-1, but a great diving poke by Wilson to stop that. Leonard then gets hit hard by Struble. If Suzuki did that, I'd be losing my mind. Habs rush the other way, but there's a slap shot that gets gloved. And the Canadiens go to the power play with 6:27 left. Connor McMichael gets called for an interference on Demidov right in front of the net. Habs end up calling their timeout to try and draw something up. Habs end up cycling. Hudson has a pass to Slav with the one-timer, but that gets held by Lindgren. Demidov has a nice dangle. He does eventually get a one-timer. That Sandin blocks. Respect there. Habs just can't score, unfortunately. Habs are 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. Matheson has a turnover at the line, but he actually beats Dubois to it. What a shocker. Caps have the empty net with 3:26 left, and we get some country roads while we're waiting for the power play to start. Of course, they drop the puck. Fans are still singing it. That's one of my favorite things in hockey is with that, Living on a Prayer. To a lesser extent, Sweet Caroline, where they're playing the song, the crowd's singing along, and then they drop the puck, the song stops, and the crowd keeps singing. I always love that. And what else do I love? The captain scoring. Hey, I said I wanted him to score. Didn't have to wait until next game. Suzuki puts it home for his 19th of the year. Against the boards, he's in a puck battle with Ovechkin and just absolutely sick goal. Just strips Ovechkin, backhand, no looker, and floats it into the empty net with 3:16. Oh, hell yes, son. Puts it home. 5-2 Canadiens are going to get the win. Suzuki, like I said, with his 19th of the year. So if he has a goal and an assist in the next game, Suzuki's got 70 points. This kid's going to look fantastic as a 100-point scorer next year. The Ole chants get going with about 3 minutes left. And the Canadiens are basically going to end the game on the penalty kill with 2:23 left. Carrier's called for a holding the stick call. That's during a small shoving match where the helmet of Carrier also comes off. There was thought he was going to get called for that despite on his way back to the bench, but no, it's the holding the stick that gets called. Capitals have pulled the goalie again, surprisingly. On the power play, Evans blocks an Ovechkin one-timer, and he does it again! And then there's a puck that finds him along the boards, and Evans will dump it. But wait! The reward of a lifetime. Evans scores his 8th of the year. Just when it looked like Doc might have the lead on him in goals, Evans says, nah, I think I'll take one back. And he scores into the empty net. A short-handed empty netter, no less, with 1:25 left. It is 6-2 Montreal. Completely unassisted. So 3 goals tonight, all unassisted. All 3 unassisted goals for the Canadiens. Man, these guys are selfish when you think about it. So yeah, it's 6-2. Caps do press for one late. Shortef has a nice shift. There's a pass that leads to a pad stop for Dobes. Habs are 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. And that does it. The Bell Center roaring with applause. That does it. The final shots 29-25 for the Capitals. But the Montreal Canadiens pick up a huge 6-2 win. A much-needed win, not necessarily because they're in a wild card race, but because with this win, the Canadiens up to third in the Atlantic Division, 1 point back of the... Wow, yeah, 1 point back of the Buffalo Sabres. They're looking pretty damn good this year. They're going to make the playoffs. That's exciting. Yeah, they're just 1 point back of the Sabres with a game in hand as well. So the Montreal Canadiens winning down the stretch so far, 1-0-1 after the, I was going to say the trade deadline. I'm a little ahead of myself. Yeah, I'm going live for the trade deadline that passed last Friday, guys. I hope you guys are there. No, after the Olympic break. There we go. So the Canadiens, like last year where we were supposed to sell, we were going to be selling David Savard and Yoel Armia. The captain, he looks at Hughes and Gordon and says, hey, don't trade these guys. We're going to make the playoffs. This year, we don't got to worry about that because we're just worried about winning more games. We're on our way to, probably maybe a 45 win season if we're lucky. I mean, what do we have? We have to win 12 of 20. That could happen. I could see at least a 42 win season for sure. I could definitely see that. And by the way, yeah, speaking of the captain saying that, he said it on the ice, a 3-point game, 2 primary assists, and the empty netter to really seal the geel. Yes, I love when players seal the geel on any hockey games that are being played. So yeah, again, the captain leads by example, 3 points on the night for him. Just a very entertaining game between the Canadiens and the Washington Capitals. Yeah, big win for the Canadiens. The Capitals really did need this game. If they had won tonight, it actually would have tied them with the Boston Bruins for the second wild card spot. However, the Bruins have 3 games in hand on the Capitals, so I doubt Boston would have been feeling the pressure unless they somehow lost those 3 games and the Capitals didn't have another game until those 3 games for Boston had passed. But regardless, they are probably looking more at third in the Metro Division. I feel like they would much rather face the Penguins rather than a team like Tampa or Carolina. Right now, it is looking like the second wild card is facing the Carolina Hurricanes. Especially since the Hurricanes won tonight and the Lightning lost. So, yeah. The Canadiens in a very, very nice spot in the standings right now. Very, very good for them. Very, very sneaky, if you will. So, yeah. The Canadiens pick up the win. God damn, I love this team. I'm excited to see what happens in the playoffs, who we face in the playoffs. If it's Montreal Buffalo, I should say, that's going to be super exciting. That would be a really, really, really entertaining matchup. If it's Montreal Detroit, that's probably going to be pretty boring because we know it would be Montreal in 5 at most. It wouldn't be that entertaining. If it's Montreal-Boston, that would be where my money would be. I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens in the playoffs, who we face, who shows up. Yeah, I just want to see the playoffs. I genuinely wish I could sleep right now, wake up, well, firstly for the trade deadline, secondly, wake up for the start of the playoffs, because my God, I want to see where this team finishes, and I'm so excited for the final 23 games of the season. God, the hockey's back, baby. Let's go. So yeah, we're gonna get into the stats and then work our way out of here. So who leads the Canadiens? Well, of course, it's Nick Suzuki. Come on, he's got 19 goals, 49 assists for 68 points. Cole Caufield's got 35 goals, 25 assists for 60 points. Lane Hudson's got 10 goals, 49 assists for 59 points. He actually loses a 5-game point streak tonight, surprisingly. No points for Hudson. Did not need him on the score sheet, which is actually pretty good. The Canadiens can win without one of their top scorers. Speaking of the top scorers, number 4 is Ivan Demidov. He got 12 goals, 35 assists for 47 points. Yaroslavsky's got 21 goals, 25 assists for 46 points. Noah Dobson with 12 goals and 28 assists for 40 points. He surprisingly loses a 6-game point streak, actually, with no points from him tonight. Oliver Kapanen, 18 goals, 13 assists for 31 points. Mike Matheson, he's got 6 goals, 23 assists for 29 points, and again was a +4 tonight. Zach Bolduc with 10 goals, 14 assists for 24 points. He is now on a 21-game goalless drought. Jesus. Josh Anderson, 12 goals, 8 assists for 20 points. Alexander Texier with 7 goals, 12 assists, 19 points. Brendan Gallagher and Alexander Carrier, each with 6 goals, 12 assists, 18 points. Jake Evans, 8 goals, 6 assists for 14 points. Alex Newhook, 6 goals, 8 assists for 14 points, including 2 assists in 2 games since his return to the lineup. That's awesome. Kirby Dach, also pretty awesome. 8 goals, 5 assists for 13 points were for him. Phil Deneau, in his tenure back with Montreal, 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points. Jaden Struble with 9 assists, including 3 assists in his last 4 games played. That's not talked about that much, surprisingly. Sammy Blais, who's back in Laval in his time with the Canadiens, had 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. Joe Veleno, 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points. He is still on a 10-game pointless drought because he has been a healthy scratch. Caden Gooley with a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. He is, oh no, on a 5-game pointless drought. Oh no. Arbor Jackai with a goal and assist for 2 points. He also is now on a 23-game pointless drought. Poor Arbor. Owen Beck in the NHL had a goal. He's back in Laval. Patrick Laine, who is unfortunately still hurt. Florian Jackai and Jared Davidson, who are both in the AHL, all have an assist this year. Arbor Jackai, of course, leads the way with 7 fights. Josh Anderson and Jaden Struble each have 2 fights. Kirby Dach, Joe Veleno, Caden Gooley, and Florian Jackai all have a fight in the NHL this year. In terms of the goaltending, yeah, it's Jakub Dobes. He's got a 19-5-4 record, a 2.92 goals against average, and an 8.93 save percentage. Samuel Montembeault with a 10-8-3 record, a 3.37 goals against average, and an 8.74 save percentage. And Jacob Fowler, in his time with the NHL, of course, he's currently back down in Laval. He has a 4.42 record, a 2.62 goals against average, a 9.02 save percentage, and the lone shutout for the Montreal Canadiens this year. So yeah, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, if you're on Amazon, Spotify, wherever you might be listening to this. Don't forget to hit the follow button and share the podcast with anybody who you think might enjoy listening to me, such as a fellow Montreal Canadiens fan, a hockey fan who's maybe looking for a Canadiens podcast, or someone who you think just might enjoy listening to some fat kid from Quebec rant about the Montreal Canadiens for half an hour after every game. In terms of the DVD collection videos, I know I said I was going to do the box set videos, it's probably just going to be one video. I have not recorded it yet. I'm actually going to do that tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be uploaded tomorrow, but within the next couple days, I should have that uploaded. And then it's getting the 2 update videos recorded. And actually, there's going to be 3 because I have a pretty damn big update that probably deserves its own video. So, yeah, we're going to do that, and then the 3rd update video, we're going to upload the first 2, obviously, that I've had worked on. I just need to film the last portion of the 2nd update, because I've kind of been doing that, just filming it in little sections, and then, yeah, we've got that to work on. So, the 3rd update video, which, fingers crossed, should be filmed Monday, assuming the package arrives on time. Should be filmed on Monday, and yeah, it's not like the one previously where I said it was going to be a nice haul, and then, well, there was one haul, I should say, where I said it was going to be filmed, and then the buyer canceled. This one has been shipped, and it's being tracked, so assuming a big-ass package doesn't get lost in the mail, which I'd be very surprised if that happened, but barring that happening, there will be 3 update videos, and I'm guaranteeing there will be. So yeah, like I said, for any of the DVD update fans who are watching the HabWrap, firstly, thank you, appreciate it. I don't know if you're just not into hockey or you're actually into hockey and you enjoy all of my content. Thank you. Like I said, yeah, I'll probably film that tomorrow, and then it'll be up at some point. I think we next play Tuesday, so actually I might be able to get it up Monday. And then, yeah, it's Tuesday, Friday, Saturday is the California road trip. So if I'm lucky, I'll get the DVD update or the box set video Monday. And then we can do the double update of Wednesday, Thursday. And then Sunday, next Sunday, we might be able to do the third update. Like I said, if all goes according to plan. So within the next week, my backlog of DVD videos might actually be complete. From that point on, it's just hockey content. So my apologies to anybody who's watching who are primarily into the DVD content. Yeah, unless I just start making videos about what I've sold on eBay and my stuff that I'm selling on eBay, which, I don't know, might be fun. I don't know. I mean, it'd be a nice way to promote the eBay. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to get out of here now. So yeah, thank you all again so much for watching. My name is Harry Rice. And always remember, no matter how good we were last year, how great we are like this year, or how fantastic we'll be in the future, go Habs go, Ade Montreal, and say it with me everybody, say that boo!